this video, I am going to discuss what needs to be disclosed in a lease agreement when you actually go and approach a landlord to look to potentially lease a location. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around. What is going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, thank you so much for all the love and support that each and every single one of you have shown me. And if you have not yet, make sure to go check out the God Made podcast on most streaming platforms. Also, feel free to go check out Legion Assisted Living Academy.com, where I teach how to start your own facility from A to Z. Also, you can book a one-on-one mentorship call with myself there, or you can book a full day with myself and you can come and spend the whole day, check out a few facilities that I have here in the Phoenix metro area, and also ask me any questions that you may have. So that is all at legionassistedlivingacademy.com. Also, feel free to go check us out at Valley ALF Ventures on Instagram, and also feel free to go check out valleyalfventures.com if you are a limited partner or a passive investor looking to passively invest into this space, or you're an operator looking to potentially sell or expand your operations. Feel free to reach out to us and we would love to have a discussion with you. And now that the housekeeping is all done, let's go ahead and jump into the topic of this video. I got a question from a subscriber of this channel, and it was actually a great question. And the question actually was, do you have to disclose in the lease that you are a RAL facility, or you have an intention to actually operate as an RAL facility? If so, can the landlord then increase your rates per month? And this was from Jan Eka, I believe. One is how I believe you pronounce that, but that is a two-part question. So the first part of the question was, do you need to disclose if you're going to be running the property or running an REO type of business out of that property in the lease agreement? And the answer to that question is yes. You do want to disclose that you're going to be running a residential assisted living business out of said location that you're going to be potentially leasing from this landlord. And the reason being is a couple. So typically in most states that have a regulatory board when it comes to licensing these types of facilities will require that if you are leasing a property to do this type of business out of and get licensed, that in that lease agreement, there is language that states that you're going to be utilizing this property as a residential assisted living business. And that is language that you would want to have a commercial real estate attorney actually draft up for you in your lease agreement. And so yes, you do want to disclose that you're going to be doing this type of business, and not only because of licensing and what they're going to require, and that you are required to have that in your lease agreement, but also if the landlord were to find out, right? Let's say you don't disclose that you're going to be running a assisted living business out of this property, and you don't disclose that, and the landlord finds out, they can actually evict you without any notice in most states. Typically, if they find out you're doing anything without their approval, they can actually kick you out of that property, and that's the last thing you'd want to do. But it wouldn't matter anyhow, because again, licensing will require that your lease agreement has the approval from your landlord in there. And to answer the second part of this is, will the landlord be able to increase the monthly rent if they know that you're going to be running this type of business? Now, typically, if they are a savvy type landlord and they are sophisticated enough to understand that there is value there when you're running this type of business, typically this type of property is outfitted already, or they're going to have to put money into it to get it outfitted properly for you to actually operate out of it and be licensed. So therefore, if they're having to come out of pocket to outfit this property for you, of course, they're going to charge you more than the market rent for that property. And that is understandable. And you have to understand from a business perspective, for you to go do that and come out of pocket to do all that extra work to get this property outfitted, because of the location's great, because you know that the zoning approves of it, and there's multiple reasons why you're going to start out of that location, it is well worth it for you to allow the landlord to come in there, outfit it, increase the rent above market rent to make it worthwhile. Again, it will come back down to you as an operator to properly underwrite it through a pro forma to make sure that it's still going to cash flow you, even if they were to charge you above market rent. And what that rent amount can be will vary depending on the size of the property, what the landlord feels like they need in order to properly cash flow and make it worth their while to outfit a property like that for you, and also vice versa for you to make sense to be able to cash flow, right? It's essentially your success is going to be the landlord's success and vice versa. You want to make sure that you both understand what works and doesn't work for you guys at the end of the day when it actually comes down to the numbers, because typically landlords will charge more because of what their all-in cost is, and for you, you can only pay so much because of the type of rates you're going to be able to charge in a set location. Again, this goes for a property when you're going to go lease a property to start your residential assisted living. Again, I've done this in the past where I went and I've leased location, and I needed to make sure that I disclose that and that the landlord understands exactly what it is that I'm doing, because if there is an HOA there or there's issues that arise because of this, you can work with your landlord to resolve it, right? To make sure that you guys are all set and that you have their support and they're not gonna actually go against you if there were to be a situation that arises like that. And to give you an example, that actually happened to me where I had the HOA that I was operating my very first facility, the 5-bed that many of you all know. And the HOA was coming at me and requesting all these items, requesting the lease agreement, requesting the license, requesting the approval from everybody, right? And because obviously my landlord knew that this was something I was doing already and it was already previously done in this property, so on and so forth, that I had all the proper documentation, there was nothing the HOA could do about me operating out of that business or out of that location. And so at the end of the day, it's good to dot all your I's, cross all your T's. Do not overlook this step. Do not try to be sneaky or work around this, because ultimately the landlord will really help you in case something comes up with that property. And if they find out, they have every reason to go ahead and evict you, and then all that work you just did to fill that home up just is gone, right? So you have to be very careful. There's a lot of things when it comes to doing a lease agreement, and one recommendation I have is always utilize a commercial lease when it comes to starting this type of business in a residential setting. It doesn't matter that it's a residential setting and a residential single family residence. You need to utilize a commercial lease because you're gonna be using it for commercial purposes, right? So at the end of the day, make sure you get a real estate attorney that understands how to draft up these types of leases. And with all that being said, I hope that this answered some questions that you may have had, and hopefully it answers the subscriber's question in regards to this. So I appreciate it. Continue to submit questions at the bottom of any video, really. And if it's a question worth making a video about, I will definitely do it. And so with all that being said, make sure to go check out legionassistedlivingacademy.com. Also make sure to go check out valleyalfventures.com as well. And I will talk to you all in the next one. God bless.